Welcome to the All Sport Premier League show. We're going to be with you every Monday after the match weekend to review, analyse and figure out what the hell is going on in the Premier League. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video, and we will create a community of Premier League lovers here every Monday. Now, before the season gets started, we have some predictions to make. So here is 10 quickfire predictions before the season begins. Who's going to win the Premier League? Tough one. It's Manchester City, obviously. Who's going to win the Golden Boot? Hear me out. It's Haaland. It's obviously Haaland. Manchester City are going to win it. Haaland are going to win the Golden. That's just it. Who will be the signing of the summer? Now, there's obviously quite a few big money signings this summer, but I'm going to go for Nkunku. I know technically they signed him in January, but it hasn't been completed until the summer. But he is an absolute baller, and he's kind of been forgotten about being at RB Leipzig. Nobody really knows too much about him, but he is incredible, and he's going to tear it up in the Premier League next season. Who's going to be relegated from the Premier League this season? Well, right, let's hope that I get on a compilation at the end of the season that Bournemouth can kind of try and stick it in people's faces. But Bournemouth, and they're going to be joined by Luton and Wolves. Both Bournemouth and Wolves didn't really do much in this summer to improve their teams, and every other team around them has kind of upscaled. Let's face it, Luton were incredibly lucky to get to the Premier League. They didn't necessarily have the best championship season, and yeah, amazing that they got there, but they're not really Premier League calibre. But hey, they could prove me wrong. Which team will flop the most this season? I think it's going to be Spurs. Nothing to say against their new manager or whatever, but I see them as this rebuilding team now, and they're going to be nowhere near where they have been in the past, but their fan expectation is still quite high. I believe that Harry Kane goes by the end of the summer window because, I mean, you've got to cash in on Harry Kane because he's leaving the following summer. And I think, therefore, it'll just be a complete rebuilding season, and I'm not entirely sure they can do very well. Which player will be the biggest flop? Honestly, it's going to be Mason Mount. And it pains me to say, as a Manchester United fan, I think the fact that they've given him the number 7 shirt is going to be too much pressure on him. He wasn't exactly playing amazing football before he joined Manchester United, and then he's been given this shirt that has been worn by legends. Everybody knows what the Manchester United media circus can do to a player, and I think Mason Mount is very vulnerable for that happening to him. Who will receive the most red cards this season? I mean, the obvious answer is Casemiro, but I think he's going to learn his lesson. I think he understands the referees a bit more this season. I think the person that's going to get the most red cards is going to be Richarlison. He's going to play more this season, especially if Harry Kane leaves, and referees are giving a lot more yellow cards for time wasting and manipulation of time and all that stuff, and Richarlison does it a lot. I think he's going to get booked very easily. I think he's going to get sent off quite a lot. What team will receive the most amount of cards this season? Sheffield United. That's it, Sheffield United. Who will be the first manager sacked in the Premier League? Now, you might think David Moyes with West Ham. Obviously, they went through all that thing last year. But I think it's going to be Andoni Iraola. I think I said that right. The new Bournemouth manager. We saw how quickly Bournemouth got rid of Scott Parker last season, and Gary O'Neill did an amazing job keeping them up in the Premier League. But then to go and replace him, obviously create some division in the team, and then they've not really done anything with the team. They've not improved it anyway. I think Bournemouth are going to really struggle, and he's going to be gone very quickly. And then finally, what is going to be the biggest upset of the Premier League season? I genuinely believe that Luton Town are going to beat Manchester City at home. I don't know why. There's nothing really football-wise that tells me this is going to happen. but I genuinely believe it will happen. Well, there you have it. There are my predictions for this coming season. Obviously, it's not going to just be me on this show. It's going to be lots of other guests, and you are a big part of it too. So make sure you put your predictions down in the comments. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe, and we will see you next Monday for our first Premier League weekend review. See you later. Goodbye.